back again. Back to look at some cat scrappiness awesome. I once again managed to not put everything in my first order, so I think this is the stuff that came out last year in this particular package. So let's look at this one, and all this stuff is basically, well, let's just say all this stuff. I bought a lot of stuff in the release, but much of it is intended for, much of this is intended to do a Valentine's Day series, as might be apparent from having confetti that is hearts and these are just like little jimmies, or, dessert sprinkles, if you will. And then we have our bonus bag, which we have some sticky notes and a scratch off for more savings and some other stuff. And this is a major piece I got from the last release, which is this donut die set. So you wind up getting 3 sizes of heart. Which you can use, and then you have differing. So then, if you cut out the largest size of heart, that would coordinate with these various frostings. So you have like a drip frosting. You have this kind of sort of just generic frosting. And then you have all the sprinkles, obviously, that you can use to either cut out the little sprinkle pieces and use them, but a lot of the times I've seen people will use these outline dies on these sprinkle pieces, and then you basically get frosting that looks like something, right? So, like if you cut this out and then used like the drip frosting, you'll get a result that looks like that much frosting only dripped. So these are going to be fun to play with, and I think you can also use, you could use these little pieces, and you can use it with a smaller size heart. Let me see if it says on the back. Now, if you look at their website, there's a bunch of cool inspiration. And then I got the sentiments that match it. Don't worry, be happy. I licked it so it's mine. It's donut o'clock. Holy moly. Donuts are an excuse to eat cake for breakfast. So that was the stuff from last year's release that I picked up, because I wanted to use donuts as a focal point for my Valentine's Day series. And then they did a release this year. So let's see what other Valentine's Day stuff we got. And you may have seen from other folks on the internet, there have been some great inspiration with the dies that were released last week. Just checking to make sure that it doesn't have an actual address on it. And again, we get our bonus pack. We'll have lots of sticky notes. So the first thing they had a lot of are strawberry themed things. And I think these have coordinating dies. I didn't pick them up because honestly I found I haven't been using coordinating dies lately. I'll tend to use a die to sort of cut a focal piece, and then I'll stamp on it and just color it. So that's why I didn't pick them up much in this release. So this is I don't know if it says what, it probably says somewhere what these are called, but these are I think Berry Sweet or something like that. Anyway, so I picked up the berries. I like that they have different size ones. They almost always have a variety in their stamp sets, which is pretty cool. And then I picked up the adorable avocados. So you have the sort of embossing dies, and then you have an outline die to cut out the little avocados. And you have little hearts that you can do stuff with. But I've seen these online quite a bit already, and they look really stinking cute. When you do when you put the heart on the avocado's tummy. And then they have, this is basically just pretty much an embossing and A2 pan size die. And it makes a postcard. And there's some stamps that go along with this. I may have somewhere. And then they also used birds as a theme quite a bit. So I picked up the little birds on a branch. And you have some little hearts, leaves. Like, hearts are just a big theme with this release. So, one of my friends was saying that she'll basically, like, separate these dies, but, like, she'd leave all the leaves together, and then you leave all the wings together so that, like, every die kind of has a pair, so it's easier to find. And then these sentiments coordinate. They actually would work with the other bird kit from Waffle Flower too. But like flying by to say hi, put a bird on it, spread your wings and fly. A lot of cute stuff. We also have the Be My Valentine paper pad here, which I will open so we can all take a peek at it. And you see the stamps theme from, and this is double-sided per usual, but like this is a very Valentine's Day pattern. But stuff like, just the hearts, I guess they're all kind of Valentine's Day-y, but like this to me doesn't read quite as Valentine's Day. But a lot of these are, well, like this is a much more subtle pattern, right? But there are a lot of really cool Valentine's Day patterns in here. And then they repeat. So this is 12 patterns, 4 of each. Same card weight as usual. I also picked up, and here are the postcard add-ons, where you have big stamps, little stamps, a cancellation mark. I mean, and some of this, and then, like, if I go back and pull this guy out, you see these would fit in here pretty easily. And then you could put stamps across the top. I mean, normally you'd kind of have a stamp here, so you can use one of these and then the cancellation mark too. Like you could stamp with one of these stamps. And these are all, like, if you just use this by itself, like, it's not necessarily Valentine's Day-y. And you could just, use any kind of small stamps and a cancellation mark. Because these are sort of maybe 3/4 of an inch circles, so, like, you could probably do something else. Or just die cut something, right? So, I feel like with a lot of these, there's a lot of other uses. And I bought a 3-layer heart die, stencil set on that you could use as well. I feel like the avocados aren't, like, specifically Valentine's Day. Like, I feel like at least half the release is just sort of, and then the birds aren't really, I mean, if you throw hearts on it, like, I mean, really everything other than the paper pad and this stamp set is not super Valentine's Day related. And obviously, a lot of these are pretty reusable. Anyway, so I'm pretty happy with this. I'm definitely going to use this for the February Kendra's Card Challenge. Probably pairing with the donuts, but maybe the berries? I don't know. Like because a lot of the sketches tend to use a 2 to 3 inch, like, focal piece. A lot of this stuff, it could be used for any of them. And I think the pattern paper will make it very Valentine's Day, but I feel like almost everything else you could use in a different configuration and reuse it so you get more life out of it. I forget who I was listening to, but they suggested that if you're buying dies, it's a really good idea to see if you can't think of 4 or 5 different projects you can do with the same die. Yeah, and see, like, On this, you'll see a lot of instances where people will take these dies and then cut out these, and then that'll give you like a frosting look, essentially. And then you can cut out like a base die, and these are all sized the same as this outline die, so you could do like a donut and then frosting on top of the donut. Anyway, that's what I got for you today, so more projects to come.